You had been sitting in my home office in December of 2009, you would have had the desk chair all to yourself. Because I was sitting on the floor, in the fetal position, behind my desk, with my head in my hands, having an absolute meltdown. I wailed to my husband in the living room. I don't know why I thought I could start a business. I am going to completely fail. I can't get anybody to call me back. This is a nonprofit. I am giving a program away for free, and I can't get anybody to call me back for free. This is going to fail, I'm going to fail, and everyone is going to know that I'm a failure. My husband responded in the way he normally responds when I'm like this, which is to say that I couldn't even tell if he had heard me. But then he walked over into my office and he said, well, Courtney, you know, everyone, every entrepreneur, every leader, every manager, anyone who starts a business, builds something, you know we all feel that way. We all feel like somebody's gonna someday pull back the curtain and discover that we're really a fraud and we didn't deserve all the leadership that's been heaped upon us. You know we all feel that way too, right? And we just keep putting one foot in front of the other until the job gets done, and lo and behold, we deserved it all along. Now the next step in resilience is about finding meaning when we're challenged. It's about expanding our vision just a little bit so that we can put that struggle into context. I'd like to show you what I mean. I won't ask you to stand up because you all look so cozy. But where you are sitting, if you would, just put down your utensils if you're still eating that delicious dessert, and touch something. This is the part where you participate with me. Touch something. Great. Oh, I see some of you are touching your neighbor. This is a fun group, isn't it? I didn't specify what. Okay, great. Now, touch something else. Lovely, you follow instructions so nicely. Okay, you can put your hands back in your lap, unless you like touching your neighbor. Now, raise your hand if you use something other than your hands to touch. Yeah, nobody. That's what usually happens. Now raise your hand if you know that you have nerve endings all over your body and not just on your hands. Raise your hand. Right, so we know that, but we still follow the path of least resistance, don't we? Because our brain tells our body that there's one tool we have at our disposal to solve this problem. But what if I were to ask you to put your hands behind your back? What if I tied your hands behind your back and then I asked you to touch something? Would you think it was a trick? You might struggle for a minute. But the odds are good. You guys look really smart. I think after a few seconds, you'd figure out that you can touch something with your elbow. You could touch something with your foot. If you have ears like mine, you can just reach over and touch something with your ear. You'd figure out a way to solve the problem. And that's resilience. Resilience is finding a new way to do business when the old ways of doing business aren't available to you anymore. Resilience is figuring out a new strategy when your hands are figuratively, or sometimes literally, not available to you. That's what resilience is. And so when I say you can make meaning out of your challenge, resilience is realizing that when I have my hands tied behind my back, that's tough, but I can innovate a new solution. And finding those new solutions, that's the meaning behind that challenge in the first place. Then I put down the microphone and I turned to the young man sitting next to me and I introduced myself to Daniel. No sooner had Daniel and I shaken hands than this young man, tall, skinny, with dreadlocks flying behind him, he came running across the courtyard, and he runs up to me and he goes, "Hi, my name's Anthony. I never thought I was going to go to college, but then I discovered music, and now I want to go to college, but only if I can study music in college. And I heard you say that you study music in college, so I have a lot of questions for you. Like, how many pieces do you have to take to a college music audition? And if I get into a college music program, how many pieces do I have to learn a month?" I should have known then that I was meeting my son, because he'd never met a stranger and he could not stop talking.